176,846 polling units will be used for the 2023 general elections. The Independent National Electoral Commission says that additional polling units in accessible locations will make citizens more willing to participate in elections. To share insights on the distribution of new polling units is Babajide Ogusowo, data scientist and information consultant here at Channels TV, who's been sniffing all evening. Babajide, great to see you at a happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much. I'm trying to figure out what to say to that, but let me quickly, before we go into INEC, since you brought up Father's Day, Father's Day is a mixture of good news and bad news for a lot of people. The good news is the celebration and the remembrance of fathers.
The recognition.
The recognition. The bad news is the evidence today from even the National Bureau of Statistics shows that 97% of fathers, you heard me right, 97% of fathers never get it beyond that fatherhood. 97% of fathers never become grandfathers. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
So the journey goes from son to father and the drop off. So in the future, when you say Happy Father's Day, I think it would be better to say Happy Father's Day and I pray you become a grandfather.
Yes, and I pray you become a grandfather. So let's get things rolling since we've gotten that out of the way. What are the implications of these new polling units that INEC has established?
There are different ways to quickly look at this. The first is 2023 will be nothing like 2019. And here's one reason why. In 2023, apart from these new polling units, we'll have governorship elections in 29 states. And there's a guarantee that 17 out of 29 states will have new governors, because in these 17 states, the governors are already on their second term. So 5 out of 7 states in the Northwest, the governors are going home. 3 out of 6 states in the North Central, the governors are going home. 2 states in the Northeast, the governors are going home. Come to the South-South. Out of the states we have in the South-South, 4 governors are going home. And in the Southeast, we have 3 governors going home. So in all, 17 out of 29 governors will be going home in 2023. And the contest will not just be at this new polling unit, it will also be at the existing polling units. Will they be able to sell their messages across now that more people should be able to easily access polling units?
Yeah, so that's just the idea behind it, making polling units more accessible and reachable, to citizens. Has every region, though, in the country been treated fairly in the allocation of these polling units?
So one way to look at that is to look at the previous number of polling units and then look at the new number of polling units and then look at what has happened across the 6 geopolitical regions, because that simplifies it a bit better. And if we take a look at what is in front of us, it allows us to see what were the polling units in 2019, approximately 120,000. Now we have a little over 176,000. But let's take it region by region. In the Northwest, prior to the new addition of polling units, the Northwest had 25% of all the polling units. That was the concentration before. Now we see that that has dropped a bit to 24%, no significant difference. So the Northwest still has the highest concentration of polling units. The Southwest comes on at number 2. Prior to now, 21% of all polling units, no significant change as well, now 20%. So in summary, the Northwest and the Southwest is still where most polling units are concentrated. But let's quickly look at the 4 other regions. North Central before had 13%. Now we see North Central having additionally more recognized polling units, so 16%, and that's the biggest jump. South-South, 15 remains the same, 15. In the Northeast, 14 remains the same, 14. And in the Southeast, we have 13. They had 13% of the polling units, the least concentration of polling units. We haven't seen any significant difference. It's dropped a bit by 1% to 12%. But in all, the positions of all the regions in the 2019 general elections, in terms of the concentration of polling units, is still the same. So no one has gone up the ladder, and no one has come has changed position. So number 1, Northwest, 2, Southwest, 3, North Central, and then we have the South-South, Northeast, and finally the Southeast as a concentration. So in all, INEC has attempted to evenly maintain the same concentration as it did in 2019.
Yeah, but with elections, the main concern really is getting people out to vote. We
correct.
have had that discussion where we're seeing a drop in the number of registered voters who actually turn out, to vote at the polling station. So will these new polling units encourage people to get out there and cast their ballots?
That is what INEC hopes. One of the challenges is because of migration. People change houses, people change their addresses. So if you're living in one location and you move to another urban or rural location, it becomes harder to vote. What you will then have to do is to transfer your name to a new voter register. But a lot of Nigerians haven't been able to answer that question to themselves. What's in it for me? Yes, I have moved addresses, but why should I take the pain to move my voting point? And if we take a look at which states, and that's the question, which states is it still very easy to vote? And that is the question. Lagos State still remains the easiest place for you to vote. Lagos State has 13,325 polling units. Spread across is 1,381 square miles. In simple terms, Lagos State has 35 polling units per 10 square miles. And that is the easiest place to vote, followed by the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Abuja, based on the new allocation, has 2,822 polling units. But Abuja has an area of 667 square miles, which gives you an average of 34 polling units per 10 square miles. Now, here's the interesting thing. The 10 states, or the 10 locations that it's easier to vote, 9 out of those 10 states are located in the south of Nigeria. Only Abuja is in the north central. So you have Lagos, Anambra, Imo, Abia, Rivers, Ebonyi, Akwa Ibom, Enugu, Kano. These are the 10 regions. So we see Kano in that state, in that mix of 10, but every other state that has challenges with voting, we see more of that concentration in states where it's difficult to vote. So these are the easiest states where you can easily find a polling unit close to you. But we can't look at the easiest states without looking at where is it very difficult to vote. And if we focus on the states that are difficult to vote, these are the bottom 10 states. All the 10 states that we find that citizens find it difficult to vote, even with this new additional polling units, still are in northern Nigeria. Borno State, looking at the size of Borno State, 1,870 square miles, yet it only has 5,071 polling units, less than 1 polling unit per 10 square miles. And we see Niger State, we see Yobe State. So in going forward, yes, INEC has taken a bold move by moving polling units out from shrines, from churches, from mosques, but the evidence based on these scientific facts shows that in the days ahead, we need to still create additional polling units.
Abajide, thank you so much for being here and once again explaining this to us. I know we'll be having more conversations about it later on. And once again, happy Father's, and I pray you do live to become a grandfather.
Thank you so much, Amarachi.